Welcome back to the 63rd episode of the BatChums podcast. I'm Drew Leiter, and joining me tonight is my co-host, the man, the myth, the new legend, Mike Gordon.
Howdy! Wah, 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 wah.
So this is Batman Season 2, Episode 27, The Penguin's Nest. Episode aired Wednesday, December 7th, 1966, and was directed by Murray Golden and written by Lorenzo Semple Jr.
Okay, so this was actually the first set of episodes produced for the second season. With the Penguin having been featured in the last episodes of the first season and the movie, it was decided that they were going to hold off and air these at another time later on in the season. The reason that it's the second time we see the Penguin in this season is because they wanted to air the episodes where he runs for mayor during the election weekend. So they wanted to make sure that they aired those first, and then we get this. Um, so there's if things don't seem to align very well, that's because these were shot and produced first. So these were early on. But to be honest with you, I can't really tell. There's a couple of things that I think notes here, but for the most part. Now, also of note, it's written by Lorenzo Semple Jr., which is a rarity nowadays with these episodes in the season. I do believe that this is the last two-parter that he contributes, and especially knowing that these were the first two produced right after the movie. Yeah, so I don't know if we'll see his name mentioned as a writer on any of the other ones. Now, here's something you haven't heard me say in quite a while, Drew. This story is based on a story in the comics. It is it
Okay,
is
I
it
wasn't
is
expecting that.
it is pulled from a comic story called The Penguin's Nest in Batman number 36 with a cover date of September 1946, written by Alvin Schwartz. And I haven't read it yet. Like as usual, I usually wait until I watch the two parts and then I read the story that it's based on. But my understanding is that at least the first part of the story and the first part of this episode are very, very like close in terms of adaptation. I'm curious to find that out for myself. But yeah, the Penguin's actually not on the cover. Like, so when you look at, Batman 36, you'll see that the Batman and Robin are fighting a knight of the Round Table. But yes, included in that story, in that comic, is a story called The Penguin's Nest. And once again, it's about, the Penguin going quote unquote legit, and hijinks ensue. So yeah, it was a big surprise for me too, Drew. Like, oh my goodness, we haven't had a story that's based on a comic from a while, but because it's from Lorenzo Semple Jr., who was doing that first season, he pulled a lot of inspiration from the comics. Because this is one of the first stories that was produced for the second season, it was early on. It makes sense to me that this was the case because, as you know, unfortunately, as we've gone forward, as the series goes forward with the second season, they're pulling away less and less from the comic material, creating new characters, new villains, and not adapting stories from the comics, which is unfortunate. I don't, in some cases, I think we've noticed that it would be better if they did, use the comics as sort of an inspiration. But in some cases, like I said, we talked about it last week. The last few episodes have been really, really strong. So I'm not complaining that they're not pulling directly from the comics, but it is kind of cool to see a comic being referenced here.
The Penguin has opened a new restaurant, the Penguin's Nest, atop of Gotham City's skyscraper.
Wait, wait, wait. Not the Iceberg Lounge? What?
I'm curious, did the Iceberg Lounge even exist in comics yet?
Not at this time, no. No, the
I
Iceberg
didn't think so.
Lounge, I don't, I'm gonna have to do some research on that now, Drew, because I don't, it was in Gotham City. It was created, I thought it was created for the cartoon, but I could be wrong about that. Yes, I am wrong about that. Actually, I just did a quick look, and the Iceberg Lounge was created by writer Chuck Dixon. It was first introduced in Detective Comics 683 in 1995. So that's where the Iceberg Lounge comes from. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, we are decades away from the Iceberg Lounge, but Penguin's Nest, especially since it's based on the actual comic story, it does still have some legitimate presence here. So that's pretty cool.
The sign at the entrance states cover charge $100. Only rich and famous friends admitted.
Sure, with a cover charge of $100, Drew. I mean, that's in $66, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That's Penguin should go to jail for that alone. Oh my
Commission
goodness.
Commissioner Gordon, a guest of the House, has invited Chief O'Hara, Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, and Mrs. Cooper as his guests. They find it odd they have to write down their orders instead of giving them to a waiter or waitress. Penguin comes over to the table to check on his patrons and then attempts to steal Mrs. Cooper's diamond bracelet. Good gravy! What a clumsy crime! Commissioner Gordon asks Chief O'Hara to arrest the Penguin, but Bruce Wayne objects, asking, wouldn't it be wise to consult Batman? When the Penguin asks to be arrested, Commissioner Gordon decides to take Bruce's advice.
Yeah, this scene was pretty fun because, we don't get these characters together all that often. Especially Aunt Harriet, Mrs. Cooper. The fact that she's included is fun. The fact that, Penguin tries to steal or does steal her bracelet and almost gets away with it. But of course he doesn't want to get away with it. It's pretty cool. O'Hara's decked out in his. I mean, he's got all his medals. I
Yeah.
don't know why he has all those medals, but and all that he's wearing is. He's trying to impress her, man. But we know he's married, so it's not like he's trying to get with her or anything. Um, and it's just a kind of a fun scene to see them all kind of hanging out like this. And yeah, very cool, very cool. And yeah,
Bruce excuses himself, telling Mrs. Cooper he also needs to make a phone call. Bruce calls Alfred, who's in the Batcave dusting the anti crime computer. Alfred patches in the hotline phone when it rings.
okay, Drew, you're not really doing the scene. No offense, but you're not really doing the scene justice because Commissioner Gordon goes to a phone booth. For those kids out there listening, we didn't have phones that we could just pull out of our back pocket. We had to go to a actual phone booth. That Superman used to dress up like he used to change outfits in. And sometimes in places there would be with public phone booths, there would be a row of them. So in this case, there's two of them. There's two phone booths next to each other, right next to each other. And Commissioner Gordon goes into one to call Batman, and Bruce Wayne goes into the one right next to him to call Alfred to patch him in as Batman. And it looks like a scene from a classic like rom-com movie.
It does, doesn't it? And Commissioner Gordon even pops his head out to tell Bruce, I got a hold of Batman.
I got old Batman. And, and
No, it was.
Bruce is like, I know. It's like, wow, this connection is so good. You're in the next room. He doesn't say that, but it's like, come on, man, he's right there. Those phone booths, for those people who have never used a phone booth, they were not soundproof.
Nope.
So you could easily hear the conversation of the person next to you in the phone booth next to you. So it works. It's visually really fun. I just, and the fact that Alfred's there patching him in, I thought he was going to put the phones up next to each other. Like,
Yes, because I've seen him do that in episodes before. So
but instead he's using the back computer to be like a switchboard. And yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I think this is the first time we've ever seen Commissioner Gordon call Batman from outside the office.
I think you're right.
So that was pretty cool too. We'd never seen that before. So, but it's a fun scene. I really like visually. I thought it was really done. And you could this is Lorenzo Semple Jr. It just it you could tell he's having fun with this kind of thing. So I really like this scene a lot.
Commissioner Gordon asks Batman to meet him at the Penguin's Nest. Batman states it might take a little longer than normal. Commissioner Gordon states that he can wait. Mrs. Cooper states she has lost her appetite and wants Bruce and Dick to take her home. Once back, once,
She's
once
the
back.
victim. They're gonna let her go? She don't they need her statement?
I guess since they're not going to arrest Penguin, they don't need a statement.
And doesn't Aunt Harriet want to hang around and see Batman? No, because she's still mad at him for like ditching her at the wedding.
Once back at Wayne Manor, Bruce and Dick rush to Bruce's study and head to the Batcave. And yes, the labels are on the poles. Of course, we know why because it's early in season.
Right, right. Okay, so Bruce and Dick leave the Penguin's Nest with Aunt Harriet, drive all the way back to the manor, go down, go down to the Batcave, and then get in the Batmobile, and then drive all the way back to the Penguin's Nest. Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to take, but it must take a long time. Even if the Batmobile is flying to get to the Penguin's Nest, I mean that's a long time to wait.
Yep, it sure is. And when we see it when Batman and Robin arrive, that the place is empty except for the Penguin.
At first I thought it was just Bruce Burt Ward's style as Dick in the restaurant, but then when he comes in later as Robin, his hair for some reason seems off, and I can't quite put my finger on it, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. But I tried looking up some information, but if you put in like Dick Grayson's hair, you get a lot of like stuff on Google that you probably don't want to know. So
So what you're saying is don't look it up when you're at work.
yeah, it's probably not a good idea to look it up anyway. So I kind of got tired and I was like, well, this is no good. So I don't know whether they were just trying a new style or if he hadn't gotten a haircut in a little while or what was going on. But yeah, so I don't know. With the also this is the first episode they're filming. So maybe he was just coming back from being, on hiatus for I don't know. It wasn't that long because from what I understand, their shooting schedule was like they did the first season, they did the movie, and then they went right into the second season. So they didn't have a lot of time they didn't have a lot of downtime in between stuff. So it's not like he could just go on the beach and let his hair grow like a hippie for a while. But any case, not a big deal. Just noticed it. I thought it was weird.
At the bird's nest, Batman asks Penguin what his story is. Penguin states he was the victim of an irresistible criminal impulse. Holy straitjacket! Penguin is throwing away hundreds of thousands in restaurant business for one diamond bracelet. Penguin introduces his restaurant crew. Cordy Blue, Matey D, and Chickadee, all former criminals and all out on parole.
Is the name Chickadee? Because I think they call her Spade, right?
I thought they said
Yeah,
uh,
Chickadee. You're
it's
right.
Chickadee because it was I have it in my
Yeah, it's
in the
you're right.
cast.
For some reason, I wrote it down notes Spade. I don't know why. Okay, so settle in, Drew. This is where I introduce you to the crew. So Cordy Blue is played by Lane Bradford. He is a man, he's appeared in a lot of stuff. Like he's got over 200 and some credits. Usually he's like, in a thug or he's in a lot of westerns. A lot of westerns, including did 15 episodes of The Lone Ranger back in the 50s, and so he's also appears in 3 episodes of The Adventures of Superman. But he had an extensive career. there, so people might seem familiar. I think the one person that everybody recognizes is Matey D, who's played by Vito Scotti. Vito Scotti was around. He started acting in 1918, worked until 1990, until almost his passing in 1996. The last, I think, one of his last credits is the movie Get Shorty in 1995. Now, one of his first credits is the classic film noir Crisscross in 1949. But in the 50s and 60s, man, he was all over TV. He was in two Twilight Zone episodes. He's in four episodes of The Addams Family. He's in two episodes of The Munsters. He's in three episodes of Gilligan's Island, one episode of The Monkees. He's in two episodes of Get Smart. He's also in the movie Nude Bomb that came out in the 80s. He's in five episodes of Columbo, the Columbo series, and he plays different characters every single time. He's really good at playing barbers or taxi drivers or maitre d's or waiters or guys that are just kind of working class guys. He has played other characters. I think there's some parts where I've seen him as sort of I think in an episode of Columbo, he's a ambassador from a Hispanic country. So very, very, he shows up a lot, and he's pretty like obvious. He's one of those faces that did you see him? Did you recognize him, Drew?
I didn't recognize him, but he looked familiar.
Yeah.
So
So that's that. Yeah, that's just it. And Chickadee is played by Grace Gaynor, who didn't really do a lot. She was married to Jock Gaynor, who is a producer. He actually produced the Buck Rogers 1980 series. And she did appear in the 1975 an episode of Wonder Woman. She didn't, like I said, work a lot, but she did like work throughout the years. She's actually the last couple of appearances that she made was as a character in both of the Chevy Chase Fletch movies, Fletch and Fletch Lives in 1985 and 1989. So she's like an accomplished actress as well. So, and my understanding is looking at some interviews with her, she really did not get along with Burt Ward for some reason in making this. So she didn't have really great things to say about him. So I don't sure exactly what the issue was there, but in any case, that's the Penguins crew. So he's got some folks there behind him.
Penguin wants to be arrested. When Batman tells him they are letting him go, Penguin grabs a pie and throws it in Commissioner Gordon's face. Chief
Oh,
O'Hara is ready to arrest Penguin again, but Batman talks him out of it. Batman recommends Penguin drink a cup of warm cocoa to calm his post-prison nerves.
he needs to give Commissioner Gordon a cup of cocoa to calm his nerves. Commissioner Gordon is hit by a pie, and granted, that's not like a fun experience if you're not expecting it. But Commissioner Gordon acts like it's acid. He's just like, ooh. I'm like, it's only a cream pie, dude. Like, like just lick it, man. Yum yum. Unless maybe he's diabetic and it's just gonna like he's freaking out or something. Um, but yeah, I did think he really overreacted to that a lot. Uh, but it was a fun scene.
Back in the kitchen, Penguin is upset that he can't get back into prison. He dumps out written menu orders, but he doesn't explain his plan. Suddenly, Chickadee notices that Penguin's umbrella is flashing. It's Penguin's brand new bat detector, and it means there is a bat in his belfry.
Penguin, this is a Lorenzo Semple thing because throughout the first season, Penguin has these devices that try as hard as they may. Batman, Bruce Wayne tries to, sneak up or try to infiltrate the Penguin's lair, and he's caught almost every time because the Penguin is ready for him all the time. And I love the fact that that's played out here too.
Outside the building, Batman and Robin are climbing up the side. The window opens to reveal Lurch from the Addams family, who
Yeah,
tells Batman that he gave him quite a start.
not
Batman
exactly a big
tells him,
surprise considering we hear the Addams Family music as they're walking up, as they're climbing up the building. I was like, I mean, they explain it, as you're probably about to tell me, but they explain it, but it's like it just sort of like that's the first time I think we get a cameo that we kind of know what's coming because the music is letting us know, hey, this is a cameo of an ABC show. We're back to ABC shows. So ABC is, but Addams Family, I think, is at this point is over. I think that maybe they haven't aired their last one, but they end around this time. So, and Ted Cassidy is great as Lurch, of course. This might be the first time people have seen him in color because Addams Family was a black and white show. So people must have been like, "Whoa, that's what he looks like in color." And it is the second Addams Family cast member to make an appearance because, well, technically it's the first because this was shot before the Carolyn Jones two-parter. So
Batman tells him to return to his harpsichord.
yes, the harpsichord. That's what Lurch plays the harpsichord on the Addams Family, and yeah, and that's it. So that's why the music sounds very familiar, especially to me, big fan of the Addams Family. I was like, wow, I know what's coming here. So, but it's very cool. Much better cameo than last week's cameo.
Yes.
A lot less problematic. I'm surprised. The only thing I was surprised by is that that Batman and Robin didn't be like, "Oh my God, it's Solomon Grundy," because Lurch always had that look like he looks like Solomon Grundy. I think very similar in stature, of course, and in skin tone, but also the fact that the suit that they're wearing is kind of undersized, and yeah. So I've always kind of linked the two together. So.
So maybe he should have popped out the window and told Batman and Robin he was born on a Monday.
Exactly. That would have worked for me too. That would have worked for me too. That's a deeper cut though. I don't know if Solomon Grundy's an actual character by this point in the 60s. So I don't know when that character was created. So I'd have to look that up, but uh go ahead. Well, that's a tangent, so we won't go down that road.
When Batman and Robin reach the window, they spy Penguin shooting the cook with his umbrella gun. Holy firing squad! The dynamic duo crash through the window to confront Penguin. Holy blank cartridge! Batman kicks the cook to discover he is still alive. Batman figured it out from the recoil of Penguin's gun. Batman pulls out his bat cuffs and arrests Penguin. At the Gotham City jail for petty crooks, Penguin is upset that he is not in the state penitentiary. Batman tells him he's not here for murder, but for violating the sanitary code. They are having too much fun there.
Yeah, they were having a lot of fun. I do like the interaction between them. You could tell that both Batman and Robin are kind of just like giggling almost as they're sort of making fun of him and how he's petty. And I give the writer credit and also Burgess Meredith a lot of credit. We haven't talked about him yet because I don't want to take it for granted because he is always awesome as the Penguin. And they make sure that his lines always have constant repetition of P's or other consonants that he's just kind of spitting out, and he just delivers them so well because he's so good at this. You actually believe that the man has a nose like that.
Back in the Batcave, Batman and Robin examine the layout of the state pen. They discover that Penguin's permanent cell adjoins another one. Using the state pen occupancy report computer, they discover that the adjoining
What?
cell is occupied by Barney F. Baxter, aka Ballpoint Baxter.
The what computer, Drew? Why do they have a penitentiary computer in the Batcave?
I don't know. I thought that was funny too. I saw that state pen occupancy report computer. You can't just use a regular bat computer to get that
I
info.
mean, report just makes it sound like it's some document that should be in a filing cabinet somewhere, like not a computer. Like I don't know. The fact that Batman's got access to penitentiary records like this is okay. Well, he's deputized, so I mean, he tells us he is officially deputized, so an agent of the law in Gotham. So I guess it's okay that he has this.
Batman tells Robin it all fits like a glove. Penguin was going to use the written orders from his restaurant to have Ballpoint forge checks for him. Batman uses the direct line to Warden Crichton in the Batcave to call him. Batman learns that the prisoners are able to order blank checks from the prison print shop.
Okay, so
This
a couple
this
things
felt
here.
like
One,
this
the
felt
fact that
oh,
he's
go
got a
ahead.
direct line to the warden is also very strange. We've never seen that before. It's not a red phone, it's just a direct line. Um, and I thought he was, it's nice, it's always nice to see Warden Crichton again. I thought he was waking him up in the middle of the night. Nope. Apparently, it's broad daylight, and he woke up Crichton from his taking his nap, which he takes at the penitentiary. Like this is not, he's not home. He's at the penitentiary in his pajamas taking a nap.
Yes, he was also wearing a cap too, I noticed.
Yes, he was wearing a sleeping cap, which is just yeah, a very strange scene there.
Back at the Gotham City jail, Penguin's crew show up with a special birthday dinner. The officer believes it's a hacksaw pie. Using a special metal detector, the officer checks out the pie. The officer is shocked and then drops to the floor.
Do you recognize the officer? You
He
should.
looked from he looked familiar, but
Officer
it,
Hoffman is played once again by James O'Hara. And I don't think he's played the same character over and over again, but James O'Hara has popped up many times. He's in 12 episodes of the Batman series, which was only one of which was in the first season, and none in the third season. So he's in 11 episodes of this season of Batman, and usually he's playing a cop. He was the one. Remember the beginning of the Marcia Queen of Diamonds when that cop is like instructing all the other cops to be on the alert for Marcia the Queen of Diamonds. That's James O'Hara.
oh,
Um,
okay.
he is the. I know I probably went over some of his credits on that in that episode, but I discovered through some more research on him that he's the brother of actress Maureen O'Hara, who is an accomplished actress, and Charles Fitzsimmons, who is was the assistant to the executive producer of this series. So that, nepotism works, everybody. Sometimes it's who you know. So that's so he's here playing a different officer, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It could be the same guy for all we know. But yeah, I hope he's still alive. He took a pretty big shock.
Batman and Robin show up right when Penguin's crew is freeing him. Chickadee fires a gun at Batman and misses. A fight ensues.
Okay, before that happens, when they burst in, Robin says, Batman and Robin kind of notice that the door was unlocked and open, but they fail to notice that there's an officer laying at their feet.
I know this kind of ignored that, didn't they?
They don't even check on him or anything. They're just like, something's amiss here. Like, is it normal for officers just to be sleeping on the floor? Like, that was strange. I don't, that could be a Lorenzo Semple thing because we know how much he likes to have fun with this stuff. But I did think in this case it was kind of odd. And I don't know where Chickadee was aiming because they and it was so funny because she shoots and it goes like somewhere not even in close to the vicinity of the dynamic duo. And both Batman and Robin kind of have smug looks on their face like they never learn. And I'm like, never learn what? How to shoot?
Batman and Robin nearly have Penguin and his crew defeated when Chief O'Hara arrives. Chickadee trips Chief O'Hara and then gets the drop on him with her gun.
Yeah, this is I know they weren't filmed around the back to back or anything, but in the last two-parter, we had the female character, Okiani. She actually, in the first part of it, at the end of the fight, she was the one who was responsible with her gun for capturing Batman and Robin. This Chickadee in this story, she uses her gun to capture O'Hara to stop the fight and sideline Batman and Robin here. So we have two instances here where the females are not just eye candy. They are actually moving the plot along. They are helping. They are key members of helping the gang, helping the villains do their thing. which I thought was pretty cool.
Batman and Robin must surrender as Penguin and his crew escape, taking Chief O'Hara as their hostage. Racing up to Commissioner Gordon's office, Commissioner Gordon receives a call from the Penguin telling Batman to come to the old abandoned Navy Recreation Center, the swimming pool. It's his last chance. It's their last chance to save Chief O'Hara. At the pool, Penguin has Chief O'Hara locked in a metal box at the top of a pool slide. With the pool electrified and guns at the ready, Penguin and his crew wait for Batman and Robin to arrive. Crossfire and electrocution. Looks like the end. Have our heroes ever been in a nastier spot? For the chilling climax, tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Batman and Robin, stay away. For your own sakes, stay away.
So this is interesting because they've got this elaborate thing where they're going to slide down Chief O'Hara into the pool. The pool is going to be powered with, they've got power cords in the pool so they can electrify the water. They've got a machine gun ready to take out the dynamic duo, and they're going to go into water as well, I guess. It doesn't matter. I guess it wouldn't matter really. Um, but what was really fun is that, you say they're waiting for the dynamic duo. No, no, the dynamic duo have arrived. How do we know that? Because they hear the Batmobile theme, they hear the Batman theme because the Batmobile's coming. They all look and you can hear the theme, you can hear the Batman theme, and they all look and go be like, that sounds like the Batmobile. Like again, Batman is driving around with the theme song just blasting so that people can hear him coming. I know that these are shot at different times than the Shane one, so it is kind of weird that these sort of parallels are here. But I did think it was kind of fun and just a odd little thing that, yeah, apparently the Batmobile sounds like the Bat theme because Batman has it cranked up. And I don't blame him because that's a cool theme. We talked about how cool the car is. The theme is cool too. So
Yeah,
I, uh, I appreciate that, but still, it is kind of ludicrous.
yeah. Well, the theme song is popular enough where, people who've never seen the show sing the song.
Well, yeah, people know the Batman theme without even seeing the show. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic.
So, I thought this was a fun episode. I like the beginning where they're all in the restaurant, the telephone stuff. I don't know. It was just a fun episode.
Absolutely. Anytime Burgess Meredith shows up, I mean, you see the Penguin, and it's like, yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. And the storyline, Lorenzo Semple Jr. is writing. It's fun. There's some things that, are, like I've pointed out, are kind of clunky, but that's all in good fun. Nothing is too, but the sequence of, it's got these really great sequences. The sequence I think of the with the phone booth is classic. Like that's just one of my favorite scenes never ever on the show because it's just a fun scene with those two guys, and it's just so ridiculous. But you've got some other cool stuff happening here too. Good crew, good cast. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the dynamic duo gets out of it and how this is the first time O'Hara's been involved in a cliffhanger. I think.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think you're right.
Apparently
Well,
they were going to have, I guess originally it was written that it was going to be Commissioner Gordon that was going to be captured and then locked up in the trunk. I don't know why they didn't do that. It just didn't work out logistically, I guess. But O'Hara's a big guy. That trunk does not look like it's going to fit him. I'm like, did they chop him up a little bit first? Because yeah, that's kind of. But no, you could hear him in there. So we'll see how it all plays out. Magic Batman will give us the scoop on, I'm sure, next week.
yep. All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. Do you have a shout out, Mike?
I do have a shout out. We're talking about themes and iconic themes, and as we're recording this, it just passed or just came through the wire that composer Lalo Schifrin died, and Lalo Schifrin did a lot of scores for music, for motion pictures like Cool Hand Luke and Bullet and all the Dirty Harry movies, a lot of Clint Eastwood movies. But most famously, he's known for being the composer of the theme to Mission Impossible. And I would say that, for those people who make lists of best or most known or most iconic TV themes, certainly Batman is right up there. But I have to admit that the Mission Impossible theme, TV theme, is probably one of the most iconic themes ever written. So our hearts go out to all the fans, friends, and family of that composer. Like I said, Lilo Schifrin passed away, and long career, a lot of music that he left behind, and again, iconic stuff. The Mission Impossible theme is a great show and with a great theme, just like the Batman show is.
Yep. All right. And for my shout out, I'm going to shout out about this bat signal thing I got for Father's Day.
Okay.
It
Oh,
lights
there you
up.
go. It lights up.
So
Very nice.
that's my shout out for this week. It I didn't know where exactly to put it, so I've been it's been hanging out with Magic Batman
Okay. Well, that makes sense actually.
across the room. So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
so
Come to mention it, I don't think we've seen the bat signal on the series this season yet.
I don't think we have. We
I
saw
th
it in season one,
We saw it a couple
of
times in
course, with the
season one, but we have yet to see it in season two. So that's something to still keep an eye out for.
yep. All
But
right.
very nice. You are you're doing the father thing right if you're getting bat presents. So
Yep. All right. If you'd like to comment on anything we've talked about, you can reach us at our feedback line 317-455-8411. Text us, leave us a message, or you can email us at batchumspodcast@gmail.com. All right. You ready to get out of here, Bat Chum?
bat chum's ready to move out.
Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Don't worry, the worst is yet to come. Don't stay away. Don't stay away.